Hi, my name is Jillian Gill. This is my student advocacy speech for ECE-120, Grand Canyon University College of Education. There are many issues in early childhood education that need to be addressed. Today, I'm directing this speech to parents, schools, pediatricians, and child care settings. A current issue that needs to be addressed is that children are not having enough physical activity. Too often, children are stuck sitting or indoors for various reasons, and that hurts them. It is so important that a child is active from a young age as it impacts multiple developmental skills. Children need to be able to be active and get outside. Physical activity has shown that behavioral, cognitive, and social aspects benefit the child's health. There are lower rates of depression, and it also reduces possible alcohol and drug abuse as they age. Children can focus and behave better, especially those with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. There has been proof that even children who have autism have better behaviors and can be redirected more easily. Physical activity that is done regularly can help to improve memory, cognition, processing speed, overall academic performance, and attention. Being active helps children who struggle with chronic developmental issues, physical issues, emotional conditions, and behaviors. It is important that parents role model movement for their children. Parents need to play with their children, as this is an important thing that helps reach the child's needs and helps with barriers. Ways a parent can encourage this activity is by playing catch, exploring the outdoors, climbing structures, and free playing. These all help with physical, cognitive, and behavioral readiness. Schools should provide opportunities for children to have physical activity and to be able to gain physical literacy. With some children having limited opportunities to have safe and affordable outdoor activities, schools need to provide those to all children. Physical activity in the form of curricula is so important and promotes movement and skill development. Next, pediatricians are supposed to care for and assess children and the amount of physical activity they have regularly. Through various questions, a pediatrician can learn and offer guidance on how to best reach a child's physical activity needs. A child who is physically active benefits in their attention, thinking, language, learning, and memory. Attention has been shown to improve in those physically active and is noticeable by the third hour when most children start to lose focus and deteriorate. Children who engage in physical activity show better executive function, planning abilities, and changes in the right anterior prefrontal cortex, which positively impacts their cognitive control. Early childhood environments is a place that is a great place to start in helping with physical activity interventions. Teaching these skills early on will help to promote healthy behaviors, as these behaviors can become lifelong. Active play positively influences social skills and emotional intelligence, which promotes happier kids. Playing can also reduce symptoms of depression, anxiety, and sleep problems, along with other mood and mental health concerns. Besides just a curriculum of physical activity, there are also nature-based education options available. This uses nature like trees, vegetation, loose natural parts, natural materials, and ponds and rivers. These help with motor skills and also increases physical activity levels. Children who have increased and different physical activity show higher and more competent motor skills at a younger age. With reduced physical activity, issues with weight, mental and emotional health, and certain skills end up suffering, having a long-term impact on that child. With the current setup in most homes, schools, and child care facilities, children's physical activity needs are not being met, and there are negative results because of it. Obesity continues to rise, and type 2 diabetes cases are also, with there being a lowering in the life expectancy of individuals. With less physical activity, it impacts one's cardiovascular health and body composition. Long term, those that were active had better heart health than those that didn't. Lower amounts of physical activity will impact a child's lipid profile, cardiorespiratory fitness, insulin sensitivity, and serum glucose. Reduced physical activity decreases muscle mass and increases fat mass. It also decreases bone density and balance. Those children not regularly active will miss out on improved self-esteem, decreased anxiety and stress, leadership and team skills, decreased depression and fun, along with the improvement of brain and physical health. Currently, preschoolers are spending 6 hours in sedentary activity, with more than 20% of children watching or playing on electronics for 3 hours or more a day, with that time increasing drastically by the age of 8 to 18. If some of sedentary time were to be replaced, health would improve. With the lack of physical activity, issues with posture, weight, circulation, somatic, and even premature death can happen. There is a higher risk of behavior issues like suicide attempts and developing certain addictions to drugs and alcohol without appropriate physical activity. The fourth leading risk for death is being inactive, which leads to chronic diseases. Certain gross motor skills are impacted and other developmental milestones when physical activity is not done. The current programs being used are insufficient, as the United States spends roughly 27 minutes, unlike the 120 minutes that are recommended for early childhood education. Many early childhood education programs focus on sedentary activities and fear of accidents or injuries from physical activities. Other reasons are lack of time and facilities, educators are not properly trained, the policy and rules around safety are not clear, colleagues are not cooperating, various ages in one group, the weather conditions, inappropriate clothing, and the lack of communication with the child's parents. Many early childhood educators are confused about how they take part in the child's health and physical activity. Budgets have a big impact on child care centers, making it hard to provide opportunities for physical activities at times. Improving budgets and educating educators on their role can start to positively make a change. Making this a priority is so important as it has a huge impact on children. Multiple organizations would be in support of an increase in physical activity for children. One supporter would be the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, as they have said physical activity should be encouraged and parents and children should advocate to have it in schools, communities, and hospitals. Another supporter would be the American Academy of Pediatrics and many pediatricians. Many pediatricians are worried about the rise in obesity and other health concerns that keep arising from the lack of physical activity in a child's life. The American Heart Association also feels that it is so important for a person's long-term health to learn and develop healthy skills through physical activity, which reduces possible heart issues down the road. Finally, some educators believe and have seen the impact physical education and activities have on their students and the way they are in the classroom. In closing, addressing the issue of the lack of physical activity would help increase certain developmental milestones, resulting in better overall health and allowing children to learn lifelong healthy skills. By using appropriate numbers for physical activity, many health concerns will be addressed, students will do better in the classroom, certain behavioral, emotional, developmental, and mental concerns will be addressed. There are too many children that are suffering while being stuck in a classroom. Now is the time to help them be able to succeed and to help teach beneficial skills that can help them for their entire life.